Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
One of the staples of this current 49ers run, going back to 2019, is just not quality defensive line, great defensive line play. Several top 10 defenses, several top 5 defenses, and a lot of that has to do with Nick Bosa, obviously. But another kind of staple on this defensive line is you have to have a run-plugging defensive end that can kind of hold it down opposite Bosa. Now, the 49ers, they've done a great job. Cleveland Farrell, you had Samson Ebukam. Those guys are gone. They bring in a free agent that's not even projected to start, and he comes in number 24 on our countdown, Yetur gross-matos. Not even a starter. You got Leonard Floyd and Nick Bosa there, but Matos plays this perfect role for the 49ers that is so important. This giant run-plugging behemoth of a defensive end that can come in on the Bravo group or whatever else and just limit the run game even when your studs are out. And they paid him. They paid a premium. Yetur gross-matos is the 37th highest paid edge in the NFL. Well, how many edges start, right? 32 teams. You can kind of do the numbers there. He's our number 3 guy. And it's a premium that the 49ers pay because they understand if we control the trenches, we stop the run game, we're going to be able to pass rush, get the interceptions, led the NFL in interceptions last year. That's the role he's going to play. Now, can he fulfill that role for the 49ers? That's something that is yet to be determined. Shout out to my man Josh, the executive producer of today's show. And here's what's interesting. We did 4 ballots on Yetur gross-matos, ranked 1 through 91. Here are his rankings: 24, 25, 25, 24. Everybody kind of slots him into this exact same territory, and it makes sense. Training camp, as advertised, you're getting what you pay for. You know exactly what it is. He wears jersey number 94. We've seen a lot of 94s come through here recently. 6'5", 265. That's the top 84 percentile of height amongst defensive edge players. 34 and 7/8 inch arms. This dude, he is built like an offensive tackle, and no lie. I mean, you see him out there. Now, he's not as big as Eric Armstead. Nobody is, right? But you see him out there, even in the D-line group, and you're like, who the heck is 94? Like, he is massive compared to Bosa and Floyd and all these other guys. He's just huge. 26 years old. He's got a 34-inch vertical. It's top 77th percentile. 10-foot broad jump, 86th percentile, and 20 bench press reps. Now, you enter in his workout testing numbers. Get this. Listen to these comps. A.J. Epinesa, Aldon Smith, 91% match. Greg Hardy, Chandler Jones. Now, his play style does not match any of those players. It really, really doesn't. But the physical freak show that is this guy, it does match. Going into his 5th season, born in Atlantic City, New Jersey, raised in Fredericksburg, Virginia, chose to go to Pennsylvania. Penn State, Pennsylvania State. I've never heard it called that. Penn State. Went to Chancellor High School in Spotsylvania, Virginia. Studied criminology. You like to see that. Was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. And, he's had some rough family issues. Some probably before his memories, but still affected him. When he was 2 years old, his biological father died in a boating accident trying to rescue 2-year-old Yetur from drowning. And just absolutely heartbreaking. Then when he's 10 years old, his brother died from a lightning strike while they were playing baseball. Just awful. Just terrible things. Now, his brother's name is Shalal, and Yetur gross-matos wore number 55 in high school to honor his late brother, who wore number 5 in baseball. He wore 55. And he says, his brother really applies to everything I do. If I ever think about giving up on something, he just motivates me, end quote. And I always think about, like, should I include this? Should I not include it? And the answer is absolutely should, because this is the makeup and what he's been through to get to where he is. And tragedy is, it's going to affect you. And I think that it's truly affected him just based on what he said and the type of human being that he's become. Just absolutely feel for his family. 10th all-time at Penn State with 19 career sacks. Ranks 11th all-time at Penn State with 37 career tackle for losses. And that's kind of his MO. Quarterback hits, tackle for losses. He's not the biggest sack guy. Coming off his career year for most sacks, and I think it was like 4.5. That's not really what he does. He's a run plugger from the defensive end position. Now, here's my pre-draft write-up before he was drafted back in 2020. The Niners met with him, by the way, before the draft as well. Guaranteed double team. Sorry, let me start back over. Guaranteed double. I felt like he was just such a safe play. The ceiling really wasn't there because of the lack of pass rush. But, like, this dude's going to be in the NFL for a long time. Guaranteed double. 2-year starter, 111 tackles, 36.5 tackle for losses, 18.5 sacks. Slippery versus O-lineman. He likes to get into their body and use his hands. Very strong, long hands, arms, right? Never stays blocked and has great gap integrity. A+ hand fighting. That's one of my favorite things about him. Him and Nick Bosa, that's pretty cool because that's Nick Bosa's thing as well. Super clean, well-rounded. My NFL player comps, I gave you kind of the metric comps. Jordan Willis, who is a Niners guy, and Eric Armstead, but smaller. At defensive end, not the Eric Armstead that was kicked inside. We're talking about those 2.5 years where he played defensive end. That's kind of the role he's going to play. He was the second defensive end drafted in 2020 after Chase Young, another 49ers player. You look at last year, which he spent some time on IR. He had a hamstring issue. 533 total snaps. Plays against the run much more so. 221 of those snaps were run defense, 192 pass rush. Length. That's just what he does. Now, PFF grades, that's not where he's going to shine. 65.4 overall, 66.4 run defense, 65.2 pass rush, 59 special teams. But I'm telling you, this is a team-oriented defensive run game player. Again, PFF ain't going to measure that. They're really, really not. He's going to make everybody around him better. The linebackers and defensive tackles and nickel safety corner, those guys are going to love playing with him because he is going to do his job consistently. Now, health has been a little bit of an issue. He had an ankle issue in 2021, which missed 2 games. Last year, placed on IR with a hamstring injury, missed 5 games. So, like, it's not like he's missed a lot of times, but you don't like seeing those 2, long-term gaps there. But as far as the NFL goes, 100%, injury rate, pretty solid. He was picked number 6 in the second round back in 2020 by the Carolina Panthers. And again, you look at his career stats, 142 tackles, 19 tackle for losses, 30 quarterback hits. That's the most impressive thing about what he's done. 13 sacks, 4 fumble recoveries, 2 forced fumbles, 1 pass breakup. And last year was probably his best year by far, even though he didn't play the whole year. 7 tackle for losses, 10 quarterback hits, 4.5 sacks. If you could get those sack numbers and quarterback hits again, I sign up. But again, how I started this show, you're bringing him in to stuff the run as that third defensive end. Basically, the thinking is, all right, Leonard Floyd and Nick Bosa are out. We've got our Bravo group in. We don't want to get pummeled. We want to control the game, stop the run. That's the whole idea. Signed a 2-year, $18 million contract with the Niners. He got paid. His career, $16.4 million earned. And what's crazy is, yeah, he got all that money, but $8.2 million of that 16.4, literally half, was all the signing bonus total guaranteed from the Niners deal. So he doubled his career salary by signing this deal with the Niners. Love to see people get paid. He's got 32 career starts, had 6 last year. The injury kind of messed that up. But he's the number 3 guy. It goes Nick Bosa, Leonard Floyd, Yetur gross-matos, giant cliff. Who's going to be the opposite defensive end in our Bravo group? It's not going to be Drake Jackson, at least not the first part of the season. He's going to be on PUP. Based on rotations, it's going to be Austin Bryant or Sam Aquanu. Then you've got Robert Beal, Alex Barrett kind of pulling up the rear end there, but they do not have depth. Not going to be shocked at all if they add another defensive end, but they're 1 through 3 set. Bosa, Floyd, Matos. If that is a solid 3. I'd put that up against, there's 3 to 4 teams that come to mind, but like you're talking top 5, defensive end rotation with those 3, period. Bosa's incredible. Floyd's incredible. Yetur gross-matos, goodness. I mean, he belongs as a fringe starter, and for us, he won't be. He's going to be the number 3 guy. So really excited. Great addition. Probably not a sexy addition, right? A backup defensive end. But in the way the 49ers rotate their personnel on that defensive line, he's going to play a lot of snaps for us, and it's going to be beyond important. And you stop the run, that gives you the opportunity to get out there on third down, get your pass rushers back in there. He will play a pivotal role for the 49ers this season, and I am so thankful for this signing. And for us, we'll just keep counting them down.